Alright guys, welcome back to another Anime Vanguards video, and we are going to get straight into it. Odyssey guide, you can see my team here. We are running Yamamoto, Aizen, Gogeta, Rem and Ron, whatever you want to call him, Speedwagon, and last but not least, fuck, I already forgot his name. What was his name? Oh yeah, Sukuna. We are running these 6 units for our team, and I'll explain exactly why I'm running them as we're getting into the run. Number 1, the first thing that you want to do for these early rounds is literally just play the game, right? Spam skip wave, make sure you have a good starter unit like Gogeta, something that does a lot of placement damage. Aizen is really good, right? Any secret unit probably going to be very, very good, because at the start these enemies have no HP. Make sure you are always, and I mean always, grabbing the chest. Now, the chest isn't really the thing that's going to make or break your runs, but the modifiers are always positive and they're good to have, and they recently got nerfed. My previous strategy was to literally spam by every single chest that was in the area because a good like 5 to 6 would spawn per run. They nerfed that. Now only 1 purple chest spawns, unfortunately, but that's fine. The real thing that's going to make this run incredibly easy and just make the entire game mode a joke is the Odyssey shop, which I'll get into later, but let me explain why I chose the team that I chose. Long story short, they all do a lot of damage. Full AoE units are your best friend in this game mode. Personally, if I were to do this again with a different team, I would probably bring in only units that were full AoE on max. So Gojo would be pretty good, Igris would be pretty good. Even though they're a little outdated, just the fact that they're full AoE is more than enough. And here's why. Once you get later into these runs, we're going to be taking a card called Prodigy, and that will literally carry us throughout everything, through infinity. There are also other units that are really, really good for Odyssey. One recommendation I've heard a lot of people throw around is Ragna, and I've seen people get up to 1 billion damage with him, with all the modifiers stacked up, which is absolutely crazy. So yeah, definitely get Ragna. If you have him, make sure you throw him in the team. And before I keep going with the guide, I will say this game mode is not insanely lucrative. Like, you should still do it. It's the only way to obtain corrupted rerolls, or evil rerolls, whatever you want to call them. But it's not really one of those game modes where I feel like you'd be majorly missing out. Okay, here's another important bit. Intensities. Intensities and picking what your next intensity should be. Early game, I think you should just pick 10, 10, 10, 10, just so you can secure your team. Every single time that you beat the 15 waves and you get to pick a new intensity, you also get to pick a team upgrade, and the team upgrades are going to correlate to what units that you can get on your team. As you can see, you only start off with 1 out of the 6 units. So to unlock your full team, you're going to have to pick intensities that correlate to whatever unit you want to get, and eventually you'll get duplicate units. So you'll see later in the run, I'm going to have like 5 or 6 Gogetas at once, which is really, really good. And for now, the main thing you want to get is your farm unit. I forgot to mention, I brought a Speedwagon in there too. I don't know if I mentioned him, but he's in there, right? Bring at least 1 farm unit, and I think Speedwagon is the best. Takarada early on is not that insane because these are only 15 wave game modes, and Takarada really shines in things that are like 25 to 30 waves, something that's a little bit longer than your traditional game mode. So, you know, I prefer Speedwagon. More cost effective, you get return on investment sooner, and as you can see, boom, I saw a Speedwagon, we have them unlocked. Now, what you do as soon as you get your farm, pretty self-explanatory. You're going to place it, then you're going to skip wave, make sure you can upgrade them, skip wave, upgrade, skip wave, and just get them to max, and then spam skip wave. You see, you're going to have a lot of more money than you would have had if you didn't do that. So that's literally the method. But once you get your team situated, what I'm basically doing for these early rounds is literally just complete it, check the Odyssey shop every single time, and get your modifiers. Now, you're going to see that in this footage, I'm actually not checking the Odyssey shop every single run. That was my bad. I kind of just zoned out and I was listening to background music while I was playing this. But make sure you check the Odyssey shop every single time. You see that little icon on the right-hand side of your screen right below stage info? That is going to be your best friend, because through that, you're going to obtain one very, very important card called the Prodigy card. And as you can see right here, I'm picking the intensity. I'm just picking 10 again so I can make sure I get my team situated before things get out of hand. You honestly don't need to do what I did. If you want to speedrun it, you could just pick 25 every single time, and realistically, you'll probably be fine. This game mode is extremely easy. But as I was saying, the reason that the Prodigy card is so good, and I'm going to fast forward to later in the run when I have multiple units that have the Prodigy trait, is It's the most cost-effective thing that you can get in this game mode. What does Prodigy do? It makes it so on placement, your unit is max, meaning you don't have to spend any money. It is extremely cost-effective and early game, right? In these earlier waves, before you get all of your modifiers and cars up and running, it'll carry you. And it's also the same thing that's going to carry you into late game. It's extremely, extremely busted. And what else was I going to say? I might just skip later into the run until I get all my things situated, because right now there's not much more for me to explain. Once again, I do get to pick my intensity. I'm sure you guys know this by now. Intensity correlates to how much health the enemies are going to have in the next wave, so just how hard the next run is going to be. So for now, I'm only picking 10 intensity because I want to play it safe. But once you get later into the runs, just pick 25 every single time. The health of the bosses will not matter. As you can see, I'm checking the shop right there. Boom. I get my first Prodigy card. I should have checked the shop a lot sooner, but I grabbed that, right? So I'm going to buy it soon in this footage. Boom. There we go. I bought it. Now, my first Prodigy unit is Rem. Even though it's not the best, still, I place her down. She is already maxed. And that is enough. That alone will carry you far, far into this game mode. A single Prodigy unit, you can literally spam them down once you get multiple placements. It is so free. So now, like I said, pick whatever intensity you want to. I recommend starting off slow before you get your team up and running. Once you have your build ready and situated, then you can start spamming 25, 25, 25 so you can get it done as fast as possible. But I'm going to skip into like late game just so you guys can see the sheer insanity of what a full team with traits looks like. Alrighty, so multiple stages or runs, whatever you call it, whatever you want to call it later. I have Prodigy on most of my units. Prodigy on Speedwagon is really good since when you place them, the farm's going to be max, so you're just going to be making hella money as soon as possible. I have Prodigy on my Yamamoto. I have Prodigy on my Gogeta. I have Prodigy on my Rem. I also have multiple placements of these units because I was farming them every single time that I had to pick an intensity. Whenever I saw a card that would give me more units of the unit that I had Prodigy on, immediate pick. And now, the game mode is literally a joke. It is insanely easy. I'm checking the shop to see if there's anything useful. The only card that you really care about is Prodigy. The Rainbow card is mid. It gives you a random mythic trait, but why would you do that when you can get a guaranteed Prodigy card, right? Because a random mythic trait, sure, there's a chance you might get Monarch, but you still have to upgrade the unit. And more often than not, you're not even going to get Monarch. You're going to get like Deadeye or Solar. So the only good card in the entire shop, in my opinion, is Prodigy. Everything else is really not that worth your time. Gates of Babylon is cool, I guess. You can nuke the whole map and you do the little animation where you turn into Gilgamesh and use Enuma Elish. That's cool. But in terms of practicality, you're never going to need that. If you just keep spam buying Prodigy, every chance you get, eventually you'll get a full Prodigy team and you're going to be set for life. You're not even going to have to do anything. It's basically like a better version of auto upgrade since you don't even have to click anything. It's just max as soon as you spawn in. As soon as you spawn the unit in. And that is basically the entire guide for Odyssey. I do want to dedicate a separate video to this, but I'll just get my thoughts out of the way right now. Odyssey is sort of disappointing as a game mode. Why do I say that? Well, I'm not saying that the game mode itself is bad. It's an extremely cool, neat, and novel concept, which sounds good in theory. But in practice, it doesn't really involve any strategy. The game mode itself literally just evolves to get your team like up and running, and that's spam all of them at the start. The same thing that you're going to be doing to beat a new story mode whenever an update comes out. It doesn't really involve any out of this world gameplay or mechanics. I'm not going to say that you don't utilize the new mechanics. Prodigy, new mechanic that you literally, I argue that it's a need. If you're not using Prodigy, you are going to have a not so fun time doing Odyssey. But I think the game mode itself is a little rough around the edges, but there's definitely a good baseline here. And the devs definitely know that. They like already nerfed the chest because that was getting out of hand. But for now, that's all that I want to say. Probably will drop a separate video just to discuss Odyssey more in depth because I want to milk it. But for now, that's it for me. Have a great day or night wherever you are. Let me know in the comments what you think of Odyssey, and we will catch you in the next one.